relationship, do you guys think it's okay to test your boyfriend? Here's what I'm gonna do. I am gonna take something that he did months ago. Then I'm gonna talk to a bunch of people of my gender and not his and ask for their input. Keep in mind, these are all single girls that are mad at the world because they ain't got no man. Or so was explained to me by my boyfriend, Reggie. And it's weird because then they go and they do these things and we don't react the right way. And that just ends up blowing up into a huge fight. And when it finally boils down to the reason, they always get that weird cry talk, like, you can't really understand what they're saying. It's not even a frog, it's like a dead raccoon in their throat voice.
I guess it just comes down to the fact that 3 months ago we were at the mall.
And you didn't hold my hand! To which I respond, are you kidding me? Which you should never say in a fight. Yeah, trust me, it doesn't work out. This is my second semester up here at this school, and there are some things about Idaho that I like, and some things that I think are kind of weird. I'll start with the first one. Things in Idaho are a lot smaller in size, and I'm from Connecticut, and that's really saying a lot. Because the first semester when I flew home, I got on a plane from Pocatello to Salt Lake City to New York. Now, I should have just ignored the whole flight from Pocatello thing. We got what I can only describe as a tin can sponsored by American Airlines. No, seriously, we were halfway through the flight, I farted, the pilot turned on his fasten the seatbelt sign. I didn't know what to do. Another thing is, one thing that I've always noticed about the school, one thing I enjoy, I see as one of the perks almost of the school. I'll try and imitate it as best as I can. See if you guys can pick up on what I'm throwing down here. Welcome to devotional. Come on, get this revelation right through here. Devo, every day, every week. President Clark, speakers, revelation, Devo. Who else has seen that guy? He is my favorite. His name is Kendrick. He is from Alabama, and he is awesome. And one thing is that another thing that I've always thought was interesting about Rexburg is just the weather itself. Like, most of you have an iPhone, you open your little weather app, you hit the little thing to get a little bit more specific. It shows you one picture for each hour, just so you get a general sense in case you can't read. Heaven forbid they put words in there. But it's weird though, because when you're in Rexburg and you open that same app, you click for 1 hour and 17 pictures pop up, all of different weather patterns. It's awkward when you live in a town that operates like a Thompson's water seal commercial. I don't know what to do. It's just rain, sleet, snow, sleet, sleet, rain, hail, snow, rain, rain, sleet. And then you wake up. I don't know. It's just, I don't know. Every time I wake up, there's just wind and ice everywhere, and I don't know what to do. I'm convinced that like there was a fight that I just wasn't invited to. And the last thing, this is probably my biggest pet peeve about Rexburg. There are people that live in Rexburg that still think Razor scooters are cool, like the little kid ones. Which, granted, alright, I'm sorry. Everyone here is either 18 to like, well, at BYU Idaho, you're either 18 to 45. I don't know why there's so many old people here. And yes, I know. What is your definition of old? You. You go through here and you see these people on the scooters, and normally I'm okay with that. Like, I try to live with it. And one day it just went way too far. One day I was walking across campus and I saw 2 dudes on one scooter, and they were like alternating kicks and everything. And it was weird because like as they rode by me, a rainbow just trailed behind them. Yeah, so I thought that was kind of weird. And I'm gonna do one more and then I'm gonna get off. But one thing about me is I am 18 years old. I do not know how to ride a bicycle. Now that gets a lot of people. One, if I mean get, I mean it convinces everyone that they're gonna be like my personal savior. I will teach you. You will ride the bike, and you will feel the wind blow through your ears, and it will go, and you will be grateful for what I did for you, and it will be magical. But here's the thing, I'm convinced I will never learn how to ride a bike in my life, for this reason and this reason alone. When most people learn how to ride a bike when they're little kids, let's say ages 5 to 7, just to throw it out there, because some of you learn younger, some of you learn older. But when you're that age, you don't get occupied with normal human fears. Like, when you're in that age, you're like afraid of like the boogeyman, not behaving good enough for Santa Claus, or getting beaten by your father. One of the, any one of the three. And it's weird because like you go through and all these things happen to you. Now I'm older. I have logical feels like health insurance, and I know how physics works, and the occasional still get beaten by my father. So it's just like those things where I'm like, all right, you know what? If something should go down, I'll be okay with that right away. I walk everywhere. Sure, my dad might catch me at some point, but there's gonna come a point where he's gonna be on retirement. He's gonna need me. And guess what? I can reach the cord. I ain't mad about it. But my name's Brian. Thank you guys.
Super funny and she's awesome. So, give it up to Judith Ayala. Use this now. Can I have you guys make me a beat, like clapping? I don't know. No, okay, no. White people can't clap. No. Someone needs to start it out. Come on, let's do something good. Again, so here we go. Alright, so I'm just gonna do a little rhyme. Let's see, so you guys can't clap, I'm just gonna do it by myself. Alright, so now this looks like a good job for me, so everybody just follow me, because we need a little diversity, because it feels so empty without me. Yeah! That's like my theme song, that's what I sing to myself every morning. If you guys didn't catch that, yeah, diversity, because I'm brown. Diversity here. So, I was confused, like I had an ex-boyfriend and he said, you know, I just want to broaden my horizons and I want to be adventurous. And I was like, what? Why did you stop dating me? Like, I broadened your horizons all the way to Guatemala, Ecuador, and all the way back. Like, that's fine. And then adventure, like if you come to my town, you enter as a Josh and come back as a Juan. Like, the white beater and everything. You know, like what's nice about being Hispanic is that like you get to fill out your scholarship information and it's really fun. Because they're like, oh, tell us about your hardships and you know, what makes you unique. And I was like, hardships, oh. Turn over and I'm like, Mom! She's like, get! Have you ever slept in a car? And she's like, ay, Judy, claro que sí. I was like, okay, sleep in carro. Okay, sounds good. So, for all you guys out there, that meant yes, of course. I know there's a lot of mature missionaries that know Spanish and they think they're Hispanic after 2 years. Come on, you're not really Hispanic unless you lived the life I did. That's right. You know, we're only nice to you because we wanted you to take our daughter to America. That's what we thank you. Hey, it's true, that's why you're laughing, right? Another thing, growing up being Hispanic, like you learn to like negotiate. Like you always like are on the street and like I went to Guatemala once and my parents taught me like you never accept the price that you're given. Like you always have to bring it down. And so like, oh, $5, like, no, $3. But then I get so used to it when I come back to the States, and I go to the lunch lady, and she's like, okay, your total's $5.50. I'm like, no, $3. And she's like, no, it's $5.50. Like, no, $2, $2. You know, and I'm like, that doesn't work here in the States. So yeah, so I'm trying to be a little bit more educational here, kind of like, I know there was a, you know you're a college student. Well, I want to give you guys a list of, you know your roommate's Hispanic when, this is going to be educational, so then that way, okay. So you know your roommate's Hispanic when you think she's fighting with her mom on the phone, but she's really just talking about her day. When every night's a cultural night. When she cooks, listening to hardcore Spanish stuff, all like high volume. Not the Shakira stuff, like, no, that's just hardcore like stuff. Anyways, when she constantly argues that a wrap is just a small burrito. It's not a wrap, it's just a small burrito. Burrito chiquito. When you constantly have to remind her that she doesn't have to sit in the trunk anymore. When you have to remind her that church is at 8, not at 8:30, so that she can get there by 9 on time. So, when all her shampoo and soap bottles are from the Motel 8 or Holiday Inn. When you constantly have to remind her that there is no public transportation in Rexburg. Please be nice, we're all waiting for the bus. And finally, you know when your roommate is Hispanic when her hips don't lie. Woo! All right, so that's it for me. Have a nice day.
Just go up.
Go Dave!
So I'm going to introduce Dane. Gosh, they make the brown person do everything. Okay, so Dane, give it up for Dane. Woo!
Bring it down!
This thing. My favorite part about rap music is when they say their name at the beginning of all the songs. And they all have like, cool like names, like made up names. And I don't really have one. I'm just Dane Evans, not Dane Cook. And so I don't have a cool name, so I'll just say my Twitter name, and it's like Danesy, and that'll be my punchline I think through my life. It's because like my name's not tough enough, so Danesy is good too. Yeah, thanks for coming up with that, Tessa. So I saw the Man of Steel movie recently, and I was a little confused. Yeah, it was a good movie. But I was confused when I first saw it because I was like, Steel? Didn't they just make a movie about that black baseball player? Because he steals bases. So I don't think I'm awkward, but like maybe half. Like I half mean to be because I think it's charming, and like half I don't know what to say. So I introduced myself to this girl one time, and she was pretty attractive. I went like, "Hi, my name is Dane Arnold Evans," and she said, because I think it's kind of, and she said, "Oh, you used your full name, huh?" And I went, "Yeah, I did. That's my full name. You know about me." I've heard that there's a thing where, like, you have a crush and the crush can like you back. I've heard of that. I don't know, but it goes, like, in my business class, we do a lot of what they call role playing, where you have to, you're a salesman or whatever, and you're trying to convince someone to buy your whatever, and it is never not funny when I have to portray when we're in a family and they're like, so Justin and Dane, you'll be the family, and Dane, you'll be the wife. Never happens. So after a while I got tired of it, and so we'll just be sitting there, and then I have some married friends, and so I got tired of it, so I'll just say what they say, and like to get into character. They'll be talking, and then I say, "Do you know why you're not married?" It's because you don't put yourself out there. Me, I met my husband like 5 years ago. He's the only guy I dated, so please take my advice because I know exactly what you're going through. Also, is this a bad time to bring up that I'm pregnant? There's this thing on my iPod called Snapchat, and what it is you take a picture of yourself or something going on. Sorry, like your face. And it's really funny to me because like it used to be that like you could tell people were texting in class because they'd like be looking down into their lap or they'd get a response and then they go, And so now with Snapchat, like I'll just be looking in class and then I'll see this, like they'll be looking down and they're like, and take the picture. And I think that is so much funnier than texting. I cannot wait until we don't have to like physically interact with people. So I went, I just got a Snapchat. So I like saying the word honky. I think it's funny. So I'm like, yeah, just me and a couple honkies. We just dropped into our Ford Taurus. We were eating some Pringles Trips on the way to the PetSmart. And then like every once in a while this black guy will come up and be like, yo, what up honky? And I'm like, I don't know if you can say that. And then he's like, nah, it's cool, man. I'm friends with a lot of white people. And like he said, it was cool, and I'm like, okay, cool, man. Sure, but maybe shorten it. Maybe just call us honks. I don't really know where the word honky came from. That would be interesting to find out. Here's something else that's interesting to find out. And it's that. Wait, Justin, are you even here?
He's here.
Where?
In the back.
Oh, hey, Justin. I've always wanted to be a ventriloquist. But, this is not the code word. So, I've always wanted to be a ventriloquist, but I can't afford like a mannequin, so I've got Justin. And so we're gonna do some mannequin humor for you today. Hold on, let me move my phone. Alright, we're good. Oh, hey, Justin. You're doing it backwards. I'm supposed to say something and then you respond. Hey, Justin. So what's your name?
Justin.
Oh man, that's pretty cool. Are you having fun at the show?
No.
Oh man, why not?
Just kidding.
Sweaty and my legs falling asleep. Thanks, Justin.
Oh, Justin's next.
It was a quick $5. So, a few months ago, I was visiting California. I was in LA, and I visited the temple. But I noticed that there was some graffiti on the temple. It said, "Southside Sunbeams." Anyways, my sister called me up the other night, and she said, "I'm done with work, and can you come pick me up and bring me home?" And at first I was angry. I thought, oh my gosh, I had to waste all that time to go pick her up. But then I thought, what would Jesus do? Then I remembered that Jesus didn't have a car. So I said no. So I was in Sunday school last Sunday, and the teacher, you could tell that she was, someone that was probably going to be a teacher because of how inefficient she was teaching. But she put up on the board the 3 P's of fasting, and she was having us guess what they were. And so someone guessed prayer. She's like, correct, she wrote it up. And then someone guessed preparation, and they wrote it up. And then for 10 minutes, nobody can get the 3rd P. And then I finally got it. I raised my hand and I said, faith with a PH. Nailed it. Southside Sunbeams represent. So my friends, they get kind of concerned for me because I told them I was thinking about leaving the church. And they said, why would you do that? I said, I've been here for 3 hours and I'm hungry. So on my mission, I taught the Seventh-day Adventist guy, and the Seventh-day Adventists, they believe that the Sabbath day is Saturday. And he kept on arguing about that, and I said, it was the same in our church. It's just Mormon Standard Time, we come a little bit late every day. And it just carried over to Sunday, so that's where we are now. Maybe it'll be Monday in 100 years. I don't know. He said, yeah, good point, and then he joined the church. Which was great because I actually got paid to baptize people on my mission. Yeah, I was commissioned. Anyways, there's this one lady. She wanted me to baptize her. It was my last week on the island, but we didn't have a baptismal font or a pool, so we had to use the ocean. There happened to be a big storm and there's a lot of waves, and I said, well, I think God will understand if I don't baptize you, maybe someone else should, because there's a storm, it's kind of dangerous. And so she insisted. So the question I have is, does it still count as a baptism if they don't come back up? Yeah, I only got paid half for that one. So I think it's pretty cool how we believe that we can become God someday. That's a really cool thing of our religion. But I'm wondering, how are we going to do that? Are we going to go to God school? And the teacher will be like, all right, here's your assignment, make a world. Due in 6 days. I'm used to a week, but we only get 6 days. All right. Which reminds me of a joke. And God said, let there be light. And then he called it a day. So when I was younger, I was always really confused with what it meant to feel the Spirit. So I felt like this warm, fuzzy, good feeling. But I had the same feeling when I saw Mariah Carey. Now let me explain. This is the Mariah Carey from 15 years ago. When I see Mariah Carey now, I get a stupor of thought. I was just thinking, it's a really good thing that Jesus was not an organ donor. It would work out for 3 days, I guess. So the reason I'm sitting down tonight is I actually have an injury. I don't want to talk about it, but it's hard to walk. So when I was a kid, my parents had a bizarre way of grounding us. They would put us into the bathroom for as many minutes as we were years old. So when I got to be a teenager, 14 minutes. So I would jump out of the window and go play with my friends for 10 or 11 minutes and try to get back before my dad noticed I was gone. So one time he came in and he caught me halfway through the window. So he started putting me in the bathroom upstairs. That's how I got injured. So there's a game I like to play. It's called Who's Got the Biggest Mormon Family? I guess we'll play it. Okay, who in here has more than 15 siblings? Nope, I won. Yeah, so people find out. Yeah, so people find out, they go, wow, 16 kids? Were any of them adopted? Yeah, we used to have 20. Wow, 16 kids? Were any of them twins? Yeah, all 4 of them. Why keep 2 of the same person? Actually, I met Siamese twins once, so I asked them, what was that like? Oh, they said at first they hated it, but they grew on each other over time. So they say, 16 kids, your poor mother, she gave birth to 16 kids. I said, you know, it wasn't so bad. After the 8th kid, she installed a zipper. 16 kids, so how many of them were boys and how many were girls? You know, there were 8 boys and 8 girls. They say, wow, how did your parents do that? Well, my dad was an engineer. Wow, 16 kids? How much money does your dad make? You know, I didn't know, so I went and asked my dad, Dad, how much money do you make? He said, enough to feed the family. So I tell people, my dad makes about $1 million a year. They say, wow, 16 kids. So if you come from that big family, how big of a family do you want? You know? And I just want a really small family, like 6 or 8 kids. That's it. You know what's funny to me? Everything at the store that says family size. We'll have 7 of those. And I'm still hungry. Yeah, so my family has to, they publish my family's weekly meal plan in the newspaper so that everyone else knows what they need to get before it runs out. So bedtime's pretty crazy at my house. Kids running around, screaming, chasing each other, making a mess. And my parents, my poor parents, they want some time to themselves at night. So my dad came up with a system to remedy that. He would tie us to our beds by our ankles. Worked really good until the neighbors found out. They called CPS. So the next night, around bedtime, CPS agents came over to our house. I saw the kids jumping around, chasing each other, and it was crazy, making a big mess, and it was all noisy. And I said, wow, this is crazy. But before they left, they told my parents, just give us a call if you need more rope. Thanks so much.
I'm not doing another thing, don't worry. But I would like to say thank you all for coming out. We had a lot of fun. I hope that you guys did too. Little thing is we have a workshop every single Thursday. It starts at 7 at the special events room in the MC. And also we have a Facebook page. And also I love you. And